What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Steelers Rewind, last of the preseason here. Steelers lose 24-17 to the Detroit Lions. Live here at Ford Field. Let's talk about it today. I think a lot more positive than negative. Despite the loss, a lot of the negatives obviously come with the third team, second team defenses, missing tackles, run lane integrity, the offense not looking particularly good with Kyle Allen at the helm, John Rice Plumlee. You felt like there should have been more there. Then the illegal man downfield, plus the false start, really took away a really nice strike to Quez Watkins. I thought he was kind of cooking, actually, on his last drive. So I really wanted to see what Plumlee could do. But we saw it sputter out. Really, once Justin Fields and that offense scored the second touchdown, we saw some miscues there. Like Zach Frazier has a Aaron snap on a silent count on the road. New things like that. Mason McCormick has a false start. We've seen these things just pop up. And so you see some of that continuing to progress. But the real story of the game, let's be real here, is the first team offense. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson each got mock runs with the first team, essentially. Obviously, with the way they handled Russ, things seem to be pointing in his direction to start. He only needed 5 plays, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Had that big hookup with George Pickens, just a gorgeous corner route. I mean, the corner had no chance to cover George Pickens, who continues to prove why he is such a dynamic player. He's a very underrated route runner, underrated after the catch, does not get nearly enough credit for what he can do. And so the teams are going to start respecting George Pickens for that. He looks great. Great throw by Russ. Very clean pocket. And they went right down the field. 30-yard touchdown run for Cordero Patterson. This is what we have seen in practice. You know, I've gotten a lot of comments that have said, man, the games aren't matching up to the practices, what we're hearing. This is kind of what we've seen. Explosive plays, chunk plays in the passing game. We've seen him push the ball outside the numbers and inside the numbers. And we saw this with Justin Fields too, and we will get to him. And we saw this today. We saw the chunk gains in the run game. Beautiful blocks by Sayamalo Moore and Frazier to steal this wide zone run off. Patterson makes a man miss, and he's gone for the touchdown. I mean, that's really what we saw. And then Fields, coming back after the turnover forced by Herbig in the defense. Man, he made some nice plays on that drive. You want to talk about the play-action anticipatory throw right over the middle of the field to Michael Pruitt. Perfect pass right up the seam. He had a few of those today where he was just seeing the ball better. He was seeing the field better. It was like Justin Fields trusted his eyes today. And I love that decisiveness from him. He was very decisive today. I didn't think he was nearly as decisive last week against the Bills. This week, he absolutely was. Very impressive performance from both of these quarterbacks. Again, I think Russell Wilson will end up starting, but I think both these quarterbacks played quite well today, and the offenses showed for it. He scored 14 points very, very quickly, and he came out very energized as a result. Speaking of the offense, let's stay on that side of the ball. Let's talk about Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones, I think, had a much better game today. I don't think it was perfect. Josh Paschal is a really solid run defender and gave him a little bit of trouble in run defense. I think we still saw the elbow in the run game kind of rear its head. I don't think he got a ton of vertical movement, as we've been talking about. The punch isn't there, but the placement and grip strength, you can kind of mitigate it a little bit. And he tempoed his sets better today. His hand usage was better. His hand placement was better. So I thought Broderick Jones looked better today. I thought it was a big-time improvement for him overall. And he needed that, obviously, after the first 2 games, and especially what happened last week against Buffalo. He needed a big jump up, and I thought he got it today. So that's very, very important. On defense, man, can we talk about the defensive line? I mean, from Nick Herbig, Kyron Johnson, DeMarvin Leal, Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, Montrevious Adams, Keanu Benton, Larry Ogunjobi, all these guys just had great games today. I mean, that is legitimately what you could say. This defensive line, up and down, looked phenomenal. They are a deep unit. They are a dangerous unit. They did that without Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and Alex Highsmith. That is scary. If you are an opposing team, if you are the Steelers, you are licking your chops. You have to find Nick Herbig some role. He's so explosive, so bendy, he's so crafty, he has this deep array of moves already in his arsenal. You have to find a spot for him. And DeMarvin Leal, I think I want to single him out. Loudermilk's had a nice camp too and is flashing more power moves, but Leal has looked great at outside linebacker and in the interior defensive line. He's looked awesome. He has locked his roster spot in, man. Leal has played at such a high level. So big credit to DeMarvin Leal. He deserves that, and that's where he's going to be. He's going to be on that 53-man roster. Corey Trice stepping up for the injured Joey Porter Jr., making some nice plays. Good TFL. Suffers a groin injury himself, but he has solidified himself as that backup corner, that top backup corner. Then you kind of look as well at Thomas Graham and Beanie Bishop. Don't think any one of those two guys solidified themselves today as a starting slot. I'm interested to see where that goes. Beanie Bishop basically didn't play to the second half because he didn't practice much throughout the week. Graham did, but again, not sure either one of those guys solidified that. On special teams, Cameron Johnston looks great. I think the gunner battle still up in the air. Could see them go outside and add someone there. I think the punt coverage, the kick coverage, big time question marks still. So we'll see what happens there. I'll be back for practice probably on Monday. Don't have the full schedule yet, but likely we'll have practice on Monday where we'll do Steelers Rewind, and I'll let you guys know what happens down at the UPMC Arena Sports Complex. From Detroit, Nick Farabaugh here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more.